Okay.
I'm gonna start recording, and then just got three questions. We'll talk through them real quick. But first, before we jump into that, Edward, I know a lot of people may not know this, but you actually build chargers for electric cars. You want to kind of talk about that a little bit? You know, your chargers, like the home chargers that people need as they, continue to buy EVs, how that all works with your company?
Yeah, so, at Revitalized Charging Solutions, that's our company. Our chargers are, level 2 chargers. That's kind of the space we play in at the moment. We do all of that designing, manufacturing of charging stations right here in Fort Worth. And we work with local companies to, help us to get that product out.
How easy is it? Like, I know a lot of people have questions about that, like installing a charger at home. How easy is it? I know it's not that big a deal, but you're a pro, you build them and you know all of them. So
that's a loaded question, Rock. Here's the thing, man. From a installation perspective, it's actually fairly easy. It's there's two pieces of it. One is the actual electrical infrastructure itself. So, if you think of, having like a drive circuit, for example, at home that you plug into, most homes today comes with that circuit. Unfortunately, for electric vehicles, it also requires a dedicated circuit that most homes may not have in addition to that drive circuit. And so from the perspective of ease, it's not complex if you're comfortable with electric. Now, I no way am I saying that you should be, in your electric box if that's not your comfortability level. But from the perspective of installation, it's literally installing the plug, connecting the wire from the charger to that plug, and you're good to go. Not so costly, or it could be costly, depending on where you want that charger situated in your garage.
My first question to you is, like, which EV do you have, and why did you choose that particular EV?
That's a good question, Rocket. So I drive a Tesla Model 3, and I chose the Tesla Model 3 initially a few years ago is because the range. I thought about a Nissan Leaf. I really did like the Nissan Leaf. Actually, my friend let me borrow his before I bought my Tesla to drive it for a weekend, and it was very nice, comfortable car. So nothing against the Nissan. For me, it was more about the range because I have a lot of meetings. I drive to Plano a lot from Fort Worth, so it's a lot of miles. And so the Tesla kind of gave me the range that I needed to feel comfortable to accomplish those tasks without having to charge very frequent. So, but again, there's multiple cars out there that I wouldn't mind buying. It just so happens I bought a Tesla first.
What's the range on your car right now? Like, if you wanted to max it out?
So my car gets a little over 301 miles per charge. And that is going, full battery charge.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been on a long distance trip at all yet?
Actually, I have. So I took my car from Fort Worth to New Orleans and back. Overall, I think it was about 1,000 miles, a little more. And I had not one problem with the drive. However, it did increase my drive time for roughly about 1 hour. And that's because I had to stop and charge at the supercharger. But it was a very enjoyable ride because it gave me an opportunity, my wife and I, to rest as the car was charging, which we probably should be doing anyway. And so I think my total cost for the charging experience round trip was right at $44.
Not bad to drive to New Orleans and back from Fort Worth, man. $40.
That's right.
$40 of, good energy. Wow. So what's your favorite part of the Model 3? Like, I know everybody's got their different things about it, but what's your favorite thing about, your car?
I tell you, my favorite part, I have two favorite things about the Model 3. One is, as you could see, I could see the sky all the way around me. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the second thing is instant acceleration, right? It's nothing like just being able to jump in front of someone like instantly. And so it's fun, it's a very fun car to drive. And man, I love it. It's very exciting to drive this Model 3. When I first bought it, the first thing for me was to get used to was the heads-up display or the touchscreen, I should say. There's no controls like in a normal car, so I was getting used to that. But once you get past that, man, this is a beautiful car to drive. I really love this car.
Yeah. It's funny. Everybody says whether it's one or two, the top two things that people love about is acceleration. Like, it's probably my first number one thing too. But I tell you, man, I love getting around people that piss me off. Like, whether if you're just like too close or annoying and they're just like, you just want to get out of people's way.
Yeah. You're right, man. You're right.
Yeah. And I'm going to let you go. Last thing I'm going to ask you though, if you had to tell or advise someone who is in the market to buy an electric car, what would you tell them to be looking out for? Or what advice would you pass down now that you're in an owner for a while?
I guess I'll tell you that what I normally tell people who have some level of interest in buying an electric vehicle is to, like I did, was put everything down on paper. And what I mean is the pros and cons of owning an electric vehicle, right? And look at the savings, right? Not just savings from gas, but the overall ownership savings of a vehicle. And we're talking about maintenance. We're talking about, gas. We're talking about, all the ongoing things that you'd have to do on a traditional car, internal combustion engine car. I would also tell you is to test drive it. Get in it, drive it and feel it. Don't just go off of what other people are saying or what you hear in the news or whatever. Just go there, get in it, and drive it. And I guarantee you, once you drive it, you're gonna love it. It doesn't matter what kind of electric car it is. What I love most about them is they're super quiet, and they just work, right? When they work, they just work. So that's what I'll tell you. Just, hey, get in there, drive it, test drive it. Talk to other electric vehicle drivers that drive them, and get your feedback as well. And hey, make a decision that you feel good about.
Right. I don't know if you saw it, but there is a guy who he's got a Model 3. I believe it's a 2018. He's got 100,000 miles on it, and he's documented all of his maintenance and all of the cost of energy. And it was some really interesting data because it looks like he didn't spend out of 100,000 miles in 2 years. He spent very little money. I think it was less than a couple $1,000s on maintenance.
I'll tell you, Rock, you're right. I have almost 80,000 miles on my car now. I've only owned it 2 years and 9 months now. I have almost 80,000 miles. And the only money I spent out of pocket was on my tires, which was like $1,200 for all four. And I think I spent maybe, $300 on something else. So literally 80,000 miles, almost three years of ownership, and I've spent right at $2,000.
Right. And
compared to when I owned an internal combustion engine car, I was spending thousands of dollars a year just in maintenance. So, hey, EV definitely saved me a lot of money.
Let everybody know how to reach you if they wanted to look into buying a home charger.
Yeah, so you can reach us online at revitalizedchargingsolutions.com or revitalizecs, charliesierra.com. You can also reach us at 817-659-1031, and we'd be glad to help you guys out.
Very cool. Love to see you, man, on Saturday. We're going to have a good time. Glad you're driving electric.
I appreciate it, Rock. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir, man. Have a good day, and we'll see you
Saturday, October 3rd for Drive Electric Dallas, a showcase for sustainable transportation. Bring your EV or enter the Sexy Tesla contest, where we will give individual prizes for the sexiest model S, 3, X, and Y. There will be food trucks, demo rides in the fastest electric cars in the world, music, door prizes, and you'll learn about electrification from some of the best people in the business. Everything you need to know about electric cars, charging, and solar energy. For more information, visit ecara.com. Sexy Rules, deadline to enter is Friday, October 2nd by 7 p.m. One winner for each model, public voting, and must be present to win.